Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, Satan's that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land under the fray, and the home of the brave.
You're listening to No Limits Radio Show on the Vets on Media Network.
Good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Happy Saturday.
Okay, so Michelle, I got to tell you, I'm still on this incredible high from having Madison Rising in studio last night.
I know, that was pretty awesome, huh?
It was the weirdest thing because every Saturday we open the show with their version of the Star Spangled Banner. And to have the show start and Adam had that playing in the background and having them actually in studio, that was pretty cool. That was really cool. So how was your week?
My week was pretty uneventful. I mean, it was okay. Just pretty much work and kids and all that good stuff. But yeah, not a whole lot of craziness going on in my week. How was yours?
My week was pretty good. Second week on my new job. Love it. Just having an absolute blast. I feel like I'm living a dream. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. I work for the most amazing boss. I'm so excited about where the company's going and the things that we're working on. And really excited to be able to share with everyone about all of the local sites, the national sites. So I'm really excited.
That's cool.
And I do want to tell everybody, if you're looking for things to do in your respective cities, Scottsdale, Tempe, Chandler, Apache Junction, Fountain Hills, be sure to go to those sites, scottsdale.com, chandler.com, tempe.com, because there are events there and restaurants, great restaurant listings.
So free advertisement for Scottsdale.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So I did have one exciting thing happen.
What was that?
No, I wouldn't. Okay, no, actually, not exciting, interesting. Sky was driving. Sky is my daughter, for those that don't know. She's driving to school, and you know how blinding the sun can be in the morning sometimes? Mm-hmm. Well, she's driving into the sun, like the way she's going to school. She's driving into the sun, and the sun was so blinding that she really couldn't see in front of her. So she tries to pull over to the side, hits the curb, gets a flat tire. Calls me.
Yeah.
I'm fortunately not yet left for work. Haven't started getting ready for work. I don't think I'd even run a brush through my hair, to be quite honest. But she calls me in an absolute panic to come and help her. Rob is gone, so it's me. Like, this is the only person that can help her right now. And we don't have AAA. Otherwise, I would have called AAA and let them come and deal with it.
Yeah.
So I go to where she's at, and I'm Mom, I have to fix this. We changed the tire.
Good job.
Yeah. I have to say, like, I've changed the tire before, but it's been so incredibly long that it was kind of rusty. Like, we finally figure out where the tire is. It's underneath the carriage of the car. So
Mhm.
we finally figure that out and get the tire down. And my son is standing right there. My teenage son, my 15, almost 16-year-old son. I said, "You want to get under there and get that tire?" "No, it's dirty." "Okay, I guess I'll do that."
I guess I'll do that. You're the one that hadn't brushed your hair yet. So
Yeah.
that seems to be the.
Yeah. But what was funny is I forgot that you're supposed to loosen the lug nuts
Mhm.
before you jack up the car.
Mhm.
So I get the car up, start to try to loosen the lug nuts.
Yeah.
Tires moving. I'm like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you got to loosen them
Do that
first."
first.
Yeah. Take the car down.
Did you
Loosen
remember
them.
to do it? You're supposed to do them across from each other.
I did.
You
I didn't
remembered
remember.
that
I didn't
part.
remember why you're supposed to do it that way, but I did remember there was a thing about doing them
Yeah,
across.
across from each other.
Why?
I don't know. I think it has something. I don't know if it's as important taking it off as it is putting it on. And I think it has to do with making sure it's on correctly
and
instead of
balanced.
tightening. So
Yeah.
that it's balanced. So maybe it's not such a big deal taking it off.
Okay.
But I think, see, I'm very proud of you because if that was me, I would have called Rusty and Sean at Allstate.
Oh.
And I would have figured out how they were going to come change the tire for me. They would have had some program with roadside assistance. I think they do have roadside assistance, by the way.
You know, I think they do actually.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. It
See?
was just, I'm here. I have to handle this.
Yeah.
And Sky was right there with me watching the whole stuff. I posted about this on Facebook and on Twitter, and some people were like, "Well, did you have her change it?" And I'm like, "Okay, listen, I was figuring out how to do it as I was going. So I wasn't going to have her do it because I truly was figuring it out as I was going."
Yeah.
But yeah, I was.
You just haven't had Rusty and Sean long enough to know that that's your go-to person. Car, Rusty. That's the correlation. You know, like
Okay.
like and all that word association.
Yeah.
That goes on. Like,
Yeah.
Hot, sun, dark,
Hair.
cold.
Hair, Sarah Stein.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's car, Rusty.
Rusty,
That's just
okay.
if someone says car, I say Rusty.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
just the way it is.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, it was pretty funny though. But the best part was there were no cars, like nobody was driving by. And as I'm putting the tire back on, I told Sky, "Watch, this is what's going to happen. As I finish getting this tire on, somebody's going to come," and it would end up being a guy. I said, "Watch, it'll end up being a guy that stops and says, 'Can I help you?'"
Did they?
No.
You should have wore your low cut top to change that tire, and I bet a guy would have stopped.
Maybe it was because I looked a mess. Not even a hot mess, but a mess. Sweatshirt, yoga pants. Not that I do.
So you looked like what I look like today: sweatshirt, hair pulled up.
Well, my hair wasn't even pulled up. It was down.
It was just ratty and
Oh yeah, it was a mess.
bedhead.
Yeah.
Bedhead hair.
Do you consider yourself a feminist?
Yeah, probably. I don't really like the term. Just because with that term comes, so many, they're like this, they're like this. The same as a Republican, Democrat. You have those terms and then people think that you're all this or that.
Right.
But I would say that my parents raised a pretty strong-willed person. So I often don't like to think that I can't do something. Like I feel like I should be able to do it.
Sure.
So I don't know that necessarily makes me a feminist, because I also think there are certain things like pink and blue jobs, like in your house. There's certain things that a guy should do. That's a blue job.
Okay. This is a new term that you've shared with me. I've never heard this before from you.
Blue job and pink job.
Okay. What's a pink job?
Well, like I think putting the dishes away, that's a pink job. Girls should do that.
So guys should.
It's your kitchen, because like in my kitchen, like I want to be able to find things. If the guy does it and doesn't put it where it's supposed to go, then when I'm looking for it, I'm going to be frustrated. So it should just be a pink job, because then I know where it is. Taking the garbage out, that's a blue job. Guys should do that. Girls shouldn't do that. So as much as I am, hey, I can do this all on my own, there are certain things that I still think a guy should do.
This explains why our kitchen is in such disarray, because no one has claimed the kitchen. Like I don't want the kitchen. I definitely don't want the kitchen. I don't know that Rob really wants the kitchen. Like literally, we had a family get together and my uncle is standing in the kitchen asking me where something is at in the kitchen. And I said, I don't know, maybe that drawer. It was
Yeah.
not like there was no way that what he was looking for could possibly be in that drawer. He was like, really, you really don't know your kitchen. Nope, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that would frustrate me. Like I like to know where things are.
But do you like cooking or is it just
Well,
I have to cook?
Actually, no. And well, see, right now James is gone. So pink and blue jobs are all mine. You know, I don't have any guy to do it. And I
Okay.
was single for a long time after my divorce. So I also don't mind doing those things. But I think when you're in a relationship, yeah, there's certain things they should do. But
So they're
right
more
now,
purple jobs now.
right now it's just all it is what it is. So but when James is around, James really does like to cook. But with that said, I still would like to put things away. So even if he's cooking, I'm okay cleaning up and putting things away just because then I know where it is.
Okay, so not while James is deployed, but while
Mhm.
he's here.
Mhm.
What about the outside, like doing the yard work? Is that a pink or a blue job?
Well, in my mind, it's a blue job, but we have an agreement that I do dog poop.
That seems like it's definitely a blue job.
So, well,
If trash is a blue job, then
yeah.
poop is a
Yeah, he has a hard time with the smell of that. It's a little bit of like a trigger for him. So I do the dog poop. But the one pink job that I think most people classify as pink, like laundry and putting it away, I don't mind doing the laundry. I don't like to put it away. Like I could have 50 loads of laundry and I'll do it and I'll fold it. But putting it away is like torture for me. So we've swapped that pink and blue job. So like I do the dog poop, he puts the laundry away.
oh my gosh, he's got it made.
Yeah. I know, right?
I don't like putting the laundry away either, which is why you can't really play pool on our pool table.
Because it sits there, huh?
It does.
I don't know why I hate putting laundry away so bad, but I hate it.
The pool table is a pool table. I got to tell you, if you don't have a pool table, it's a great place to fold laundry. But it's also a great place to just leave the laundry.
Stack it.
Yeah.
So that's like your dresser.
Yeah. Yeah. Until Rob finally has had enough and he puts it away.
Well, see, then there you go.
Yeah.
Just make him do the pink job.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Why were you asking if I was a feminist?
Oh, thank you.
It's okay. I knew you got sidetracked. You got those blonde highlights in. It's just everything. It went to hell.
Vroom. I was just asking if you were, because we were talking about changing the tire and I didn't know kind of where you stood with that. I don't, just like you, I don't like the term feminist. Being raised by a very strong, independent single mom that did the pink and blue jobs. And, you know, if something needed to be fixed, she just did it. And so that was kind of what I was raised with. But at the same time, like, I feel like feminists are very, no, I'll open my own door. And I don't have a problem with a man opening my door. As a matter of fact, I think that is like, I'm comfortable in taking care of myself and doing for myself, but I'm also really pleased with being treated like a lady.
Right.
And that doesn't in any way take away from my strength and independence.
Right.
So if a guy had come by and wanted to change that tire,
You would have let him.
I totally would have let him.
I'm with you. Absolutely with you. I would have had no problem at all.
I would have been appreciative of it.
I probably would have just went to Walgreens and got a little marker and a little sign that said, please come change my tire, and just hold it out there.
I got to tell you a story. Okay, so this was several years ago. I got into, my car broke down on the side of the 101. It was just after, when you go from the 202 to the 101. My car broke down and I had already called someone and they were on their way to come and help me. I don't remember what was wrong with the car, but at any rate, not the point of the story. So guy after guy after guy stops. Are you okay? Do you need any help? I'm fine. Someone's on the way. And I'm thinking, this is unbelievable. It's guy after guy after guy. Do women not stop to help another woman? I'm sure that whatever I need, I'm broken down on the side of the road. I'm sure a woman would be perfectly capable Well, just then, this woman stops, pulls up, and she pulls up behind my vehicle. And she gets out and she asks me, do you need anything? Do you need help? And I'm like, oh, thank you. No, I'm good. I've got someone on the way, but thank you so much. And I'm thinking, you know what? Women can do everything. And good for her for stopping to ask a fellow female if she needs help. She pulls away. And in the back of her windshield, in the back of her window, it's one of those rainbow. She was gay.
So are all lesbians feminists?
I don't know, but I found it absolutely hysterical.
Of course, the lesbian stops.
Oh.
Well, apparently you were looking good that day because guys and girls were both stopping.
It must have been a great hair day.
You were attracting both teams.
Yes, it must have been a good hair day. So every Saturday we do the WWW, and this is where Michelle goes out to the web and she searches for stories that are wild, wacky, and wonderful. And she has done that, and she has brought them for everyone, and we're going to discuss them.
So we'll start out with a little bit of, I don't know if it's weird or wacky or just people are stupid, but this comes out of Wyoming. We don't hear things about Wyoming very often. They're not like in the news for either being stupid or wonderful.
Like Florida.
Right. Yeah. Florida. Well, Florida's always stupid. The stuff they do. We have a Florida. Don't worry. Florida's always in the WWW. That's where I look when I'm searching for something. But anyway, Wyoming doesn't usually come up. However, in Cheyenne, Wyoming, police say a man and woman stole more than $9,000 worth of women's undergarments from JCPenney's.
Why?
Now, I don't know why. They don't give us a reason why. But
Okay.
what I think is just weird is they have the security footage from this woman walking out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And she has like a garbage bag full of underwear. How do you get out of a store with a garbage bag? Like, who doesn't see that?
Right.
Like, or how does a fellow shopper not say to a worker? Because I know sometimes it's hard to find someone there at the cash register or whatever. But I'm just thinking, how does someone not stop her? Like, 2 big garbage bags walked out of JCPenney's.
That's crazy. And well, okay, so not only the component of why is it that somebody didn't stop her and question, I could almost see someone thinking, well, maybe they came into the store with the garbage bag. I don't know why they would, and I certainly would notice that as being odd, but there was a lot of time spent taking those undergarments and putting them in the bags.
Right.
No one saw her putting
Right.
these things in the bags.
Like, I can't even imagine taking one pair of underwear and putting it in my purse for the
Right.
fear that someone's going to see me. Okay, and it's also wrong, but just the fear of someone's going to see me and I'm going to go to jail, or I'm at least going to be cited for shoplifting.
Sure.
One pair.
Right.
And this lady goes in with a whole damn garbage bag and just clears the shelf.
Like, okay, if you walk into say you walk into the grocery store and you have a bottle of soda in your hand, like, I make a point of letting them know I came in here with this.
I brought this.
I brought this.
Or like walking in with like the security camera and looking at it.
See, I brought it in.
I promise.
Yeah.
So, and not even to imagine, it was 1,000 pairs of underwear. Like, I'm going to have to walk into a store like sometime this week and realize, okay, I understand Victoria's Secrets, but just like a regular department store, they have 1,000 pairs of underwear laying around. Like, that seems like a lot.
That does seem like a lot. This would
1,000 pairs.
Right.
I'm like,
this would never happen in Victoria's Secrets, though.
no.
Because they are all over. You walk in and they're just right
Yeah.
on you.
They are all over it. But I had never even, okay, this is how much I don't worry about my undergarments, because they were talking about the name brand of these underwear and I haven't heard of them. Flirtitude. Have you heard of that brand?
Honestly, I don't notice.
And Ambriel.
Did they mention the style of undergarments?
No, they didn't. Just 1,000 pair of panties.
Were they booty shorts? Were they thongs? Were they teabacks? Were they granny panties?
Well, I don't know, but I know those are the two name brands and it meant nothing to me. So I don't know.
Now, we may not know the name brands, but we do know the styles that we like.
That's true.
When we went to Hey Beautiful Intimates up in Cave Creek, Michelle went nuts over one of the styles. She was like, these are great. These are so hard to find.
Yeah, because they're like the lace booty shorts.
Exactly.
And you can find them at Victoria's Secrets and things like that, but they're like $25 a pair. And I am not spending $25 a pair on underwear.
Right.
And the only reason to even wear those is if, you want to wear them in the bedroom. So how long are they even going to be on?
Exactly.
Let alone $25 worth. But anyway, yeah. So there's certain pairs of underwear that everybody likes.
Yeah.
So if they were booty shorts, I mean, I might steal the garbage bag from her.
Oh my God.
All right. So you were talking about Florida.
Yes.
And we often talk about Florida and we often talk about Facebook and how Facebook can be such a wonderful thing. But it can also be not so good. So you really do have to watch what you post on social media. But anyway, Ryan Pate, who is a helicopter mechanic from Belair Bluffs, Florida, was actually working overseas somewhere. And when he came home for sick leave, he went to Facebook and he was posting that his employers were backstabbers because I guess they had some type of an argument as far as his time that he could take off. When he returned, they actually asked him to report to the police station where he then was arrested for breaking the laws for slandering an employee. So he spent 10 days in jail. He's free on bail, but he is awaiting trial on March 17th where he can face up to 5 years in prison and a steep fine if convicted.
This is just, I find it interesting. So his representative claimed that because this was,
David Jolly,
because this was done while he was in the United States, it shouldn't, and because of the right to free speech, and because he was on American soil, that this shouldn't be an issue. I agree that this is this is ridiculous. For a person to go to jail for 5 years over something they posted on Facebook is kind of ridiculous. But if this was one of the terms of his employment, and if he knew it and he did it anyway, I think he should get fired, lose his job, which, he's on bail. So here was my first question to this. Okay, so where is this? This is
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, and he was working for the United Arab Emirates.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have to go back? I mean, if he's on bail, is he still in the country? Was he able to leave the country?
No, I believe he's still in the country. I'm sure they're not letting him leave.
Okay.
Because he's on bail. So you're not able to leave, the jurisdiction. But I understand that he is in America and I understand that we have freedom of speech. However, Facebook is not limited to the United States, which means that it can be access. There you go. Also over there. And most companies have policies with social media these days. I mean, I know my company, we have strict social media, rules.
Right.
So I'm sure they did. So depending on what it said, and if that's part of the rules, I guess if you're going to go work in a foreign country, you better know the laws.
Yep.
You can't just
But
plead
was this
ignorance.
a law? Was this a law or was this a policy?
Well,
I think
I'm wondering
it said
if it's both.
Breaking an Emirates law on slandering
his employer.
Yeah.
So apparently over there,
It's a
the
law.
law is if you
Yep.
slander your employer,
You can go to jail
This is what
for
happens.
5 years.
So, the part of, saying, hey, I just didn't know doesn't work anymore.
Right.
For most people. I'm sure certain people get away with it.
It's true. No, I mean, ignorance of the law is not a defense.
Right.
In any country.
Yeah.
And in any situation. So while this is really interesting, and this is because we have been raised with free speech. I mean, that's ingrained in our culture. This is shocking to us. if we were there, I wonder what our viewpoint might be.
Right. I mean, to them, I mean, I would assume the people over there just know.
Right.
You know, I mean, if
You
that's
can't
how
do
you're
that.
raised, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so it'll be interesting what happens to this guy. But 5 years in prison, that's a long time for calling your employer a backstabber.
Exactly. Wow.
So yeah.
Okay,
Very
let's
interesting.
go to a break, and when we get back, we're going to talk about more of the WWW. That is hard to say fast. All right, I'm Christina.
And I'm Michelle.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey, everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
If you or someone you know is looking for a new job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs hosts over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face-to-face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
Veterans served us, now it's time we serve them. As a veteran of Afghanistan and Iraq, as well as a current military member deployed abroad, I would like to take a minute of your time to tell you about Patriot Hills of New York. Patriot Hills of New York is a nonprofit organization providing support to veterans and their families. They partner veterans in need with over 65 health and wellness organizations, community groups, as well as philanthropic foundations providing no or low-cost services. They've helped over 400 veterans through confidential referral services, assistance with veterans issues, employment placement, as well as educational opportunities. If you need assistance or just want to help veterans by donating your time or services, contact them at info@patriothills.org. Again, that's info@patriothills.org. Visit patriothillsofnewyork.com for more information about their services or how you can donate. Our veterans deserve no less. We can give it to them, and you can help. You're listening to No Limits Radio Show on the Vets On Media Network.
All right, we are back.
We're back.
You know what's interesting? Before we went to the break, we were talking about this Florida man who is in a Middle Eastern jail, and all because of something that he posted on Facebook. And it looks like he could go to jail because according to he broke an Emirates law on slandering his employer. What I found interesting is that on the page that I'm on, off to the right, there is an article, a video on Jihadi John. Michelle, did you know that kids, little Muslim kids, are acting out, kind of like when you were a kid? Did you play Cowboys and Indians or
Cops and Robbers?
Cops and Robbers, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So these kids are acting this out. One of them is pretending to be the Jihadi John, and they are actually pretending like they are beheading Christians, and that's playtime.
And that's crazy, right?
That is insanity to me. I mean, that is absolute insanity.
But it just goes to show the cultural differences, because you played Cops and Robbers and whatever, because that's kind of what you saw,
Sure.
that's what you saw in the media. That's what you saw on television. Those were your shows, that when you were a little kid, okay, I'm going to be the bad guy and I'm going to be the cop. That was what you did,
Right.
So I don't know that it's more sad to me that this is what they are acting out, or if it's truly sad that that's their culture. Like
Yeah.
that's what they know.
Yep.
You know, so
And that they don't think that it's wrong. Like I remember as kids, we would play, cowboys and Indians, and as an adult, when I look back at how we played this, it's unbelievably wrong. You know,
Mhm.
there were the ones that were the cowboys, and then there are the ones that were the Indians, and the cowboys were finding the Indians. And I mean, it's wrong. Like it's
Right.
unbelievably wrong. But as a kid, we were playing out and acting out things that we saw in the movies.
Right.
And so these kids, I mean, they're doing the same thing. They're
Mhm.
seeing that this is what's going on in their world,
Right.
and they don't see it as wrong. Of course, because their parents aren't saying, this is wrong.
Right. But what you wonder is, so at some point when we were growing up, even though we played the cowboys and Indians, at some point though, we realized how wrong our history was, that all of that happened. So what's interesting is, will they get to a point that they realize how wrong this is? That's the frightening part.
I don't know. And not that I want to be very careful in how I say this, because I am in no way trying to say that these things are the same. When Christians look back at the Crusades now, I think there is a strong level of remorse. And I don't know how you reconcile that.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if at some point,
but it's been a long time that
I
this
know.
internal type of war has been going on over there.
and the hatred, like that's the thing that I remember going back to 9/11, the hatred that an entire group of people have for Americans. I've never been able to wrap my brain around that. I've never been able to understand how people could have so much hatred for people
Right.
that they don't even know. But I guess it starts from childhood.
I guess
I
so. It's kind of like, let me ask you this, because I've always thought this is very weird. You know how we have the Pearl Harbor Memorial there
Yeah.
in Hawaii, which I think is a wonderful tribute to those who gave their life.
Yeah.
But apparently, there's a lot of Asians that go there. Like, I don't understand that.
Do you think maybe they feel guilty?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Why are there so many Asians that go there? Like, I kind of feel like if I lost someone, if, my ancestors weren't huge military people, I had a few, but not a lot. But I'm thinking if I knew, like if I lost one of my family members there, would I be insulted that they're there?
Well,
like,
but-
what's their purpose?
But are they American Asians or are they Asians? Because there was a large population of American Asians that were incarcerated after that happened. I mean, they lost everything.
That's true.
So I don't know. I mean, are they American Asians or
I
are
don't know.
they? I have no idea.
But if they are not American Asians,
Right.
and like you said, are they going there out of respect, and being remorseful for what their ancestors had done? Do you think they'll ever be a part of the Middle Eastern part of the world where that will happen?
I don't think so, because I think it is so ingrained in their culture, and like you said, it's been such a long period of time. I doubt it.
That's why I think we stay out of it. And I know some of you people disagree with me, and that's fine. But I just don't think you can change a culture, no matter what we do and go over there. And you can maybe stop it for a time period, but you're not going to be able to change some fights you just are supposed to stay out of.
It's a big, complicated issue, though. I
I
mean,
know.
is staying out of it enough, or at this point, is there no turning? Is it? Can we get out of this fight at this point?
Well, but do we really think we're going to change their culture?
No.
Like, I think that's why people hate Americans, because I think Americans feel like, oh, this is wrong. We have to change this.
So,
And and I'm not saying what happens over there is right. It is horrifying,
right.
but I don't know that we can change that. Regardless of how horrible it is, and regardless of how inhumane and everything else, and morally at our conscience that it
Right.
drags us down. I don't know that we can change that, regardless of what we do. And we certainly don't have the finances to take on anymore. I mean, we have a lot of struggles here, and a lot of people are suffering that are here. Not like that, but they still are, and I just don't know that we can even afford it.
I don't know that we can afford it. I think that there's a lot of money to be made when we're at war. And I wonder if that is part of what drives.
I don't know. Sometimes I think our egos are kind of big.
I mean, but here's the thing. At this point, what's the solution? Do we just bring everybody home and wait until the fight is on our soil? Because
but it's kind not on our soil here.
It's not, but it's kind of, we talk about culture, and our culture is, for whatever reason, we do go and help other countries. So do we just pull back and stop doing that? I mean, maybe it would be fiscally responsible, considering the debt that our country has and the debt that we continue to incur every single day.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm kind of one of those people, you take care of your own backyard before you worry about your neighbors. And I just kind of feel like we have a lot of issues here. I think there's a lot of turmoil in our political arena.
True.
And I think that there's a lot that we really need to focus on here before we take on any more.
I agree.
As sad as it is, but damn, let's get things a little on the lighter side. Well, this isn't really a lighter side, but it has a good ending. Okay. So there was this man in LA, and I have totally changed what I will ever do, ever. Okay. So anyway, there was this man who was dancing somewhere, and we'll just put it out there. He's not small. He's a bigger man. And someone took a picture of him dancing, and they tweeted about this and put, "Spotted this specimen trying to dance the other week. He stopped when he saw us laughing."
Oh,
which is just heartbreaking. So once that happened, I guess there's a user called Frozen Badger. Have you heard of him?
no.
But anyway, he reposted this and said, "Hey, if you're out there, big man, F those kids and keep dancing." So that has kind of gotten its own momentum. And a writer, her name is Cassandra Fairbanks, she goes by Cassandra Rules, has launched a Twitter campaign that's #FindDancingMan. And they want to throw a dance party for him. And they have found him. Soon enough, the dancing man was spotted with a charming dinosaur in London and connected with Fairbanks. So they have found him. He has confirmed his identity with a picture and accepted the dance party invitation from his new Twitter account, Dancing Man Found.
Oh,
So I think it's awesome.
I love this. And I love that there are those people out there that can just be so incredible. And I just despise those people that are just horrible. In the meantime, he's apparently started working out in preparation for his Groove Marathon with the Body Positive Ladies of Los Angeles.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty neat that they're doing that. They have a GoFundMe page where they raised, well, it's probably more now, but in 2 hours they had raised $4,629.
And Farrell might come too.
How awesome would that be?
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. That would be happy.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool.
You know what's heartbreaking though is when you see the picture of him and he's dancing, and then the picture that's right by it, he's just looking down and he just looks so sad and so defeated. Like, why do people have to do why?
Yeah.
Why do people have to do that to other people?
Okay, but let me ask you this.
She's about to call me on something.
Oh, because I'll say I've done this before. Have you ever seen something or someone that you just think is funny? Have you ever taken a picture of it and sent it to someone or showed it to someone and said, oh my God, look at this girl's outfit, or look at this? Or not saying that you went on social media and tweeted about it or put it on Facebook, but have you ever...
I've never taken a picture of, and here's the only reason. So let me just say this. Have I seen something that I was like, oh my gosh, that's really funny, that would be at another person's expense? Yes. Have I ever taken a picture of that? No, because I would be too afraid that they would see me take the picture of it. And then I would feel horrible, absolutely horrible.
So you're a bad person at heart.
Yes.
You're just, you know what though, Christina, we all are. You know what I mean? Like, we really, really are. So if this story does anything, you know, I just hope that some people kind of stop and think, including myself, you know, and include, I wasn't calling you out because I'm above this. I'm not. You know, that really, you know what? You just got to let certain things go. That when people are wearing what they shouldn't wear or doing something they shouldn't do, you know what? You are not in their world. You don't know what's going on. You don't know anything about them, and they're not hurting you.
And not only that, and here's, so I love that you brought this story up, because what I just acknowledged that, you know, yes, I have done that, you know, in looking at someone. When I'm driving my vehicle, especially here in the Valley, because this is, I always say, you know, this is the biggest small town. We are all so connected. I mean, all of us, we really and truly are one, maybe two people away. I mean, you and I, Michelle, before you and I even knew each other, we realized how many friends we had in common.
Mm-hmm.
So that person that you might see that's wearing an outfit that's not just so, or that's behaving in a way that's not, you know, just so, they very well could be one person away from you. And
right.
And if that person was a friend of your friends, do you really think you would be doing that to them? I mean, do you really think you'd be passing judgment on them? I don't think you would. I really don't.
You've
No.
never passed judgment on a friend's friend?
No, once I know that they're friends with,
No. Once you know?
once I know. Once I know, that's what I'm saying. Once I know, then they're suddenly, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like,
Last week I would have made fun of you. Today I won't.
well, no, it's because they're okay because of their association. Kind of like when somebody sends you a friend request.
You should stop because you're just digging your hole.
No,
like
no.
now you're gonna get all these messages today that are like, so what didn't you like about me before?
Okay, let me explain what I meant.
Oh, okay.
And
This should
hopefully
be
that
good.
will make it better.
Okay.
When somebody sends you a friend request
Mhm.
and you don't know them, but you see that maybe they're friends with me,
Mm-hmm.
you might reach out to me and say, hey, so I see that you're friends with this person. Do you really know them? Oh, yeah, I do. They're okay.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll accept their friend request.
Right.
Same logic.
Well, you're saying at that point on, you would never make fun of them, but you have so many friends on your Facebook, half of them, probably 3/4 of them, you don't really know. So you might see them at the grocery store in something that you think doesn't match, and you would totally make fun of them and then find out you're friends on Facebook.
Well, after this story that you just shared with me, I'm never going to do that.
Do you want to hear the letter they wrote him?
I do.
Okay. Dancing man, we don't know much about you, but a photo on the internet suggested that you wanted to dance and were made to feel like you shouldn't be. We want to see you dance freely, and if you would have us, we would love to dance with you. We are prepared to throw quite the dance party just for you if you'll have us. To be clear, it's 1,727 of us, and we are all women. If this isn't appealing, we're okay with taking no for an answer, but we would like to know the offer stands. May we have this dance?
That is
Isn't
so
that cool?
incredible.
Yeah. So kudos to you. Cassandra rules.
I can't wait till they do it. And I want to
I
hear all
know.
about it.
I know. I agree with you on that. So this is a little wonderful. Let's talk about a little wonderful.
Okay, we need wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that I'm really going to make it wonderful. I think it's wonderful. Anyway, Comcast did a new advertisement. Did you see this, or was today the first day you saw this? Comcast has come out with a new advertisement to promote their new feature that's called X1 Platform. And this is for people with visual disabilities. It reads sections out loud, including program titles, network names, and time slots. Okay, so as much as I think that their platform it's a pretty neat platform. I mean, I can imagine if I couldn't see that, when you have the guide to know what's coming on, I mean, this is a definite benefit. The commercial that they put together for this is absolutely amazing. I just don't really see the tie-in. They did this advertisement. It's featuring a blind 7-year-old girl named Emily. And in the video, she describes how she envisions the classic movie, The Wizard of Oz. And so they put together her description and made this into a little video, and that's what their commercial is. But it's so cute because she's like, my Tin Man has a big toe the size of a house. The lion is small, like a toy poodle, and has webbed duck feet. And Dorothy, of course, she looks like me because she can't see anything. And when you watch the video, and I will share this video on our page, it's quite amazing how they put together how she visualizes The Wizard of Oz.
It is.
It's actually quite remarkable. But kind of like the tie-in between the two, it just doesn't really.
Yeah. But I like that they did it.
I like that they did it too. I just don't. It's one of those, when you see a commercial and you're like, what does this have to do with what it does?
True.
So I kind of feel like, okay, well, what you're doing is wonderful. Their new platform, I think it's absolutely phenomenal. I just don't quite see the tie-in with what they did with her, because it's not like it's a descriptive platform where when you're watching a movie, it's going to say the girl walks in with a pink dress. You know what I mean? Like that's not what the platform's about, but that's kind of what the commercial shows.
But
I don't know.
But sometimes the marketing is just to create a warm, fuzzy feeling,
That is
a good
true.
association. So maybe that is their platform.
I think we're going to take a break, but
I agree.
before we take that break real quick,
Yes.
I think that a company should make videos, short little videos with things like this, like how children that are blind see certain classics and put those together, because this is phenomenal. Like
I agree.
what they did here, that is phenomenal. Like that's what I want to see them do.
I think that would be incredible. And I think that I would love to support a company that does that.
Me too.
So let's go to a quick break. And
Okay.
then when we get back, we'll be talking about more of these great stories that Michelle has found out on the web and sharing our opinions, and because we got lots of opinions. So
Well, that's something we're never short of.
all right. I'm Christina.
And I'm Michelle.
Veterans served us. Now it's time we serve them. As a veteran of Afghanistan and Iraq, as well as a current military member deployed abroad, I would like to take a minute of your time to tell you about Patriot Hills of New York. Patriot Hills of New York is a nonprofit organization providing support to veterans and their families. They partner veterans in need with over 65 health and wellness organizations, community groups, as well as philanthropic foundations providing no or low-cost services. They've helped over 400 veterans through confidential referral services, assistance with veterans issues, employment placement, as well as educational opportunities. If you need assistance or just want to help veterans by donating your time or services, contact them at info@patriothills.org. Again, that's info@patriothills.org. Visit patriothillsnewyork.com for more information about their services or how you can donate. Our veterans deserve no less. We can give it to them, and you can help. Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552. Or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
If you or someone you know is looking for a new job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs hosts over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face-to-face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
You're listening to No Limits Radio Show on the Vets On Media Network.
We're back.
We're back. I just got done eating a pretzel.
Good job.
Thanks.
Alrighty.
Well, when you spend 3 minutes, because Christine is like, it's not working. What you're doing's wrong. And I'm like, no, it's all going.
Well, someone private messaged me and said, I can't find your show anywhere. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Nah, we're all good.
All right, good. I like it when we're all good.
So anyway, good job, Comcast, on your new little promotion. I will share that link. by
You
the
know,
way.
it wouldn't be hard for a video production company to do this. And
I know. It's just really cool. And you know why? Like, I think, like, if I was a parent
Mhm.
of a blind child, and if I could have someone talk to my child about their favorite movie and envision it, and then them make a video to that to where I could see
Yep.
how they visualize it, I
Yep.
just think that's beautiful.
Yep.
Just,
I
I
agree.
just think it's beautiful.
I think that would be incredible.
Wasn't their point of their ad, but that's what I got out of it. So anyway, so the black and blue dress is not going away. Have you realized that?
I have.
It is not going away at all.
You know, that dress is, I still think the thing about it that I find really quite fascinating is how different everyone saw it. Like that's the thing that I find really interesting about it.
Yeah. So there are two things I noticed it on this week. The designer of this dress, Roman Originals, they designed a black and blue dress that caused the uproar over its color. They have now created a white and gold version to be auctioned off on eBay for a charity. People Style Watch reported that the proceeds from the sale will benefit Comic Relief, an anti-poverty nonprofit-based company in the UK. So they are going to auction it off. Right now, it was on Friday morning, it was at about $810. They're wanting it to go for about £1,000. So that is, oh no, excuse me, 100,000. So I'm guessing that's around $80,000 they're trying to get for this.
My goodness.
And Roman Originals say that the dress will be tailored to fit whatever the size of the winning bidder chooses. So they'll do a custom fit for it.
That's interesting.
So it is interesting, huh?
Do you think it's an attractive dress? I mean, would you bid on it? Would you want to own that dress?
I mean, I think it's okay. I don't look at it and say, oh my God, that's the ugliest dress I've ever seen, because it's not. But I also don't look at it and say, oh my gosh, I really have to have that dress.
Especially because most women, horizontal stripes are not going to be a good thing.
That is true.
I mean, if the stripes were going this way, vertical.
However,
might be different.
Christina, we just talked about how we shouldn't judge people.
That's not
So-
judgment. That's just fact. Okay. That's not judgment. That's just fact of how you're going to look at it. Look, there's no judgment against my body. I've got curves. And if I wear something that's going to accentuate those curves, I'm not going to be happy with the way I look in that dress.
But that doesn't mean that everyone wouldn't be happy. Okay, you're right. Horizontal. Some women will not wear horizontal.
Okay.
However, I'm assuming the person that is going to bid on this dress, or the husband, or the boyfriend, or the mom, or whoever it is, must like that person in
True.
horizontals.
And some people do look good. And I'm looking at the ad that the Salvation Army did, and the woman, the model, with the exception of the bruises all over her body, but the way the dress looks on her, she looks fabulous in the dress. Like you can, because she's a model.
Yeah. So since you
You can
brought it
wear
up, like I
anything.
said, the dress came up. They are now going to auction a white and gold one off. That is the one part this week where the dresses come up. But the other part is the Salvation Army commercial that they have put together, or the ad, I should say. And I got to say, it is a pretty powerful ad. It is a woman who is wearing, well, she's not wearing the dress, but she's wearing a dress that is styled to be like that dress, that is white and gold. I know that it appears different. I know that it appears different in different people's eyes. But in this ad, it's definitely white and gold. And the caption on it, she is completely bruised. And the caption on it says, "Why is it so hard to see black and blue?" So they are doing an ad for domestic violence.
I mean, she's got a giant welt on her thigh, her knees, her eye, her lips. I mean, she's truly, she's black and blue everywhere. It definitely sends quite a strong message. So,
yeah. So
and I think that, you know, of any news jacking that somebody could do, I think that that's a really good use of. And we had this was a frivolous topic. You know, do you
Right.
see black and blue or gold and white? I mean, it was a very slow news day and the internet exploded over a dress. So the fact that the Salvation Army took that story and used it like this, I think it was brilliant.
yeah, it was brilliant. So and underneath the, you know, the tag of "why is it so hard to see it's black and blue" says, "The only illusion is if you think it was her choice. 1 in 6 women are victims of abuse. Stop abuse against women."
Yep.
So yeah, so I thought it was, so the dress right now is not going away. I think it's great, the auction that they're doing for the charity. But I think huge kudos to Salvation Army for this ad.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with it. I think it's powerful. I think it's brilliant.
I agree.
So yeah, so kudos to them
I absolutely
for
agree.
that. So that's it for the WWW in my part of the world. I think you came up with a couple things though this week, didn't you?
I thought we had a U.S. mom faces prison sentence for. Do you want to talk
You
about that?
did have that, sure.
Oh, I found that.
Remember, I said that's all I have, but I think Christina, you found a couple things. But go ahead. Let me refresh your memory. That was 2 hours ago.
Thank you.
Sarah, if you're listening, can we not do the blonde highlights anymore, please? I mean, just please.
All right. So, a mother who has taken flight with her son to prevent his circumcision could face a prison sentence if she fails to have the boy undergo the procedure, a judge ruled in a case that has become a rallying cry for INT activists, which I guess is what they're the term for those that don't want to have a circumcision. As I was reading this, I thought, okay, is this in this country? Yep. Palm Beach County Circuit Judge Jeffrey Gillen on Friday said Hieronymus was in contempt of violating an order to appear in court Friday with her son. Gillen called it reprehensible that she has not allowed the father to see the son, which I agree. I mean, the father should be allowed to see the son. The judge is ordering that And the judge is ordering that she, in order to not go to jail, that she have the son circumcised, which I find interesting that a judge would order that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, oh no, they're still married, huh? It's a
Yeah.
husband and wife. I thought it was maybe they were divorced and maybe there was something in the divorce decree as far as he has control over medical.
But how does that conversation not come up before you get married? I mean, this is, some people believe that circumcision is a religious, some people believe for health reasons. How does that conversation not come up before the two of you have a baby?
I don't know that that's maybe a common, again, I think it's what you're raised with. So I feel like even though the story comes up and you're like, how do you not discuss that? Like in my world, that would have just been something that would have been done. Like that wouldn't have been a conversation. It would just be, if I have a son, he's getting circumcised.
Exactly. Because of health reasons.
Well, for me, I think it was just because that's what you did. Meaning that's how I was raised, that people
Right.
are circumcised, but,
Right.
So I don't know that two people have a conversation like that unless you're from two totally different, cultures or whatever it might be. Maybe these two get married and that's not something like maybe in her world, it's like you don't do that. In his world, you absolutely do. And they don't realize that it's a issue until they have a son. I mean, you can't talk about everything.
Maybe you should sit down and talk about everything.
What's that one? Who do we have on? The love contract,
Yeah.
where you write down everything.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't know. That's okay. So, I mean, both of us have kids. We've both been married.
Mhm.
Did you and your ex sit down and talk about parenting styles before you got married, before you decided to have kids? Because we didn't. I mean,
no, we didn't. And it was probably a huge stressor,
yeah.
a huge stressor in our marriage. Not the kids, if any of my children are listening,
Right.
not the kids, but how we approached our children and how we structured and disciplined and that kind of stuff. We definitely didn't.
And I think it's something, okay, so we didn't. So there's no going back and changing that. But I think having this conversation with our girls and our sons, sit down and before you get to the place of marrying someone, before you have kids with them, you've got to sit down and have a conversation about parenting styles.
Okay, so did you read this entire article?
No, I skimmed it.
Okay. Initially, the couple agreeing to a parental planning agreement with her husband to have their son circumcised. A month later, she changed her mind on the issue, thus beginning a bitter court battle. And the court battle has been going on as old as the child is. The father said he considered circumcision. So I'm guessing that they did talk about not doing it. The father said he considered circumcision when his son was 3. After noticing the child was urinating on his leg, a pediatrician had diagnosed the son with having phimosis, a condition that prevents retraction of the foreskin. However, the mother then frightened the boy over the procedure. My son has, this is a quote from her, or from him, excuse me. My son has mentioned things to me that he's scared to have his penis cut off. So apparently our conversations about having these conversations and agreements, they had it. That is why the judge is saying, you've got to do this. He needs to be circumcised. She agreed to this. So they had a plan. They had a contract, a parenting agreement that said, we will have him circumcised. And now she's changed her mind. What else is the judge to do? If you have an agreement, a contract, you know what? The judge's job is to
But the fact
to
that they're
force
even, the fact that a judge is even involved in this conversation, I think is ridiculous.
Oh, that's absolutely, you are correct.
I could have a, and here's the thing, actually, truly sitting down and having that conversation on your first date, you might have a conversation and you guys might agree that you don't want to have kids. And a month later, something happens, somebody's pregnant. Guess what? That agreement doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah. And this mother has just not done things the right way. In May, the judge requested that the media not reveal the identity of the child involved in the case. Obviously makes sense. Kudos to you, judge.
Right.
Ordering the mother to comply with the circumcision while also warning her not to tell her son she was against the procedure.
And
The
she did it
judge
anyway.
then blames the mother for having the story plastered all over the internet is a direct violation of the court's order.
So she might end up going to jail.
Well, it's another waste of our money, but
And it's in Florida.
taxpayers' money, and it's Florida. So what do you
But
guess?
here's the thing about this story that I found the most interesting was not necessarily the specifics of the story, but the conversations that we have. You know, when two people come together and they decide that they're going to have a child, the conversations that they have before having the child, and those decisions do change. I mean, look at I look back to when I first had my kids. Your first child, you are insane about everything.
Mhm.
Your second child, you kind of you relax a little bit.
Yeah, you should have 4.
I can't even imagine that. Okay.
The first one, you like boil the like pacifiers when it falls. The second one, you rinse it off under the sink. The third one, you put it in your mouth and lick it off yourself. The fourth kid, you're just like, just put it in your mouth. It's dirt. So yeah,
God made dirt. Dirt don't hurt.
God made dirt. It's fine. Just put it in a little bit of dirt, never hurt anybody. So yeah.
That's hysterical.
So yeah, it does change.
Now see, with me, it was first one, you boil it. The second one, it's in my mouth, and
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, kids parenting. However, I hope sooner or later this mother and father realize how much they're hurting their son, that this is all going on.
Absolutely.
So he'll
Parent-
survive, honey. Millions of little boys have. He'll be okay.
And you know what? For health reasons, not just because it's done. You know, shame on them for not having it done when he was a baby.
Well, Christina, you can say for health reasons, but for every article and research that you're going to say for health reasons, you have to have it done. You're going to have the other side of the story, have you don't have to have it done for health reasons. So meaning you can go either way. I was raised that this is what you do for healthy, but I'm sure there are millions of uncircumcised boys out there that are healthy, men or whatever. So as many articles as they're saying, yes, you have to do it for health reasons, there's just as many saying you don't have to. Same as vaccinations. You're going to have people say you need to, you're going to have people say you don't. It's everywhere
Okay.
with every topic.
That is the craziest thing, though, that people think that there are risks that outweigh the good of vaccinations. That just kind of boggles my brain. But
Well, we can't all be the same or the world will be pretty damn boring.
I guess.
Guess so.
Well, they're just wrong. I don't know what to tell you.
You know that part, people, where Christina says she's open to listening what other people say? That's bullshit. You're wrong. She's right. Just so you know.
But I mean, when it comes to vaccinations, you have to vaccinate your kids.
I think the people who say you don't can probably look up many articles that say you don't have to.
No, they're wrong.
Again, people. Again. And I'm the bitch. Right. Well, whatever.
There you have it.
There you have it. What else you got for us, Christina?
What else do I have for us? Well,
You sent me something and said, don't you dare go on to this.
I
link."
do. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Now there's a topic that I don't care if people agree with me on it or not.
Well, we just discussed that you don't care what people think about anything. But okay, so we have another one we're going to talk about?
Okay, so I sent you this link.
Yeah. Can I look it up on my computer or do I need to do it on my phone?
No, you can do it on your computer.
Okay.
And we're gonna do this together.
Okay.
So I know that one of your favorite topics is not.
Is this politics?
This is politics.
Oh, dear God.
Okay.
All right.
So Michelle has claimed many times that she is independent she doesn't care. I mean, as a matter of fact, we had a politician in studio, and she let him know that she thought he was just that
Full
all
of shit.
all politicians are full of shit.
Yeah.
So
Well, they are.
so if you would like to do this along with us, you can. The website is isidewith.com, and that is the letter I, sidewith.com. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to that website, and then you can take a quiz and see which political party you side with. So I thought it would be really fun for us to do this together.
Okay. So we're going to do the quiz, right?
Yes. What is your stance on abortion? Pro-choice, pro-life, or you can choose another stance. And when you click on choose another stance, your options are ban after the first trimester, pro-life, but allow in case of rape, incest, or danger to the mother or child's health. Pro-choice, I don't agree with it, but it's not my right or the government's to ban abortion. Pro-choice, but providing birth control, sex education, and social services could help reduce the number of abortions, or you can add your own stance. So you don't have to share what your choice is, but
We're just going to click which one,
we're just
right?
gonna, we're just gonna click which one.
Okay.
Okay, the next one. Do you support the legalization of same-sex marriage? Yes.
Sure. They can pay for a divorce.
Okay, so we don't even need to go to choose another stance. Should the federal government allow the death penalty? Yes, no.
Are we also supposed to be doing this? How important is it to you? Or are we just going to leave those in the somewhat?
We're just going to leave those in the
Okay.
somewhat.
All right. So are we
Um,
going to now show 3 more social questions, or are we going to go
Nope.
to the environmental?
We're just going to go on to the environmental. Should the government increase environmental regulations to prevent global warming? Do you want to choose another stance?
Yeah, I'm going with yes or no.
Okay, we're just keep making it easy. Should the U.S. expand offshore oil drilling?
Who cares? Where's the choose the other stance? Where's this one? I don't really give a shit.
Should-
Nationalize energy. No, maintain a criminal, deregulate free market, incentives to private sector. All right, let's do this one. 'Kay.
Should national parks continue to be preserved and protected by the federal government?
Duh.
Should the government raise the federal minimum wage?
I have to choose another stance on that one. Did you pick yes or no, or did you pick choose another one? You made it easy?
I made it easy.
Hmm.
Which I did this the other day, and I did on each question, I went into choose another stance. So I'm really curious to see how different my results are.
Okay. Should able-bodied, mentally capable adults who receive welfare be required to work?
Yes or no?
Aren't we all required to work? I don't understand the question, but
Should-
I mean, we're not. I mean, what is? I don't understand what the mentally capable adults means, because
Should
people.
able-bodied, mentally capable adults who receive welfare be required to work?
I think okay, whatever.
We have people that are on welfare.
That's
are
what I'm saying. I don't.
practically-
Yeah, I don't understand what the purpose of the mentally capable part of it is, because I think anyone that's on welfare, I think there should be a limited time. But anyway, that's my thought.
Okay.
Next.
Should the government make cuts to public spending in order to reduce the national debt? Yes, no, or choose another stance.
Okay.
Do you support increased gun control?
Okay.
Are you in favor of decriminalizing drug use?
Okay.
Do you support affirmative action programs?
Oh, I have to choose another one on that one. Well, I think sometimes it can be like reverse discrimination the opposite way.
Okay,
so
so
anyway.
on choose the other, regardless, we should offer social programs to address poverty regardless of race or ethnicity. No, and laws should be passed prohibiting minority groups from receiving any favorable treatment. Yes, and laws should be passed requiring all federal agencies to give favorable treatment to minorities.
Okay, I went on. Oh, how many questions do we have here? Okay, we better get busy. Do you support the legalization of marijuana? Do you support the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, which AKA is Obamacare?
Should the government decrease military spending? Should the military fly drones over foreign countries to gain intelligence and kill suspected terrorists?
Oh yeah, shoot those words up.
Should the U.S. continue to support Israel? Do you support the adoption of Common Core national education standards?
We are screwed up the way it is. Why would we possibly? Anyway.
Would you support increasing taxes on the rich in order to reduce interest rates for student loans? Should children of illegal immigrants be granted citizenship?
Man, this is such a hard one because I feel so sorry for those kids. You know what I mean? That's a hard one. All right.
Should illegal immigrants be given access to government subsidized health care?
Duh.
Do you support stronger measures to increase our border security? Oh, this is interesting. I didn't see this one last time.
Today's trending question. Here's how much people I don't know about politics. Who's Scott Walker?
He is
apparently running for president in 2016. Where's choose another one? I don't know who he is. Oh, add your own stance. I don't know who he is. I don't know him. Supposed to be honest on this thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So
So
ready to
now
show the results?
click show my results. Okay. So now as it calculates everything, it's going to give you a percentage of how much you align with either the Green Party, Independent, Libertarian. This is really interesting. So, wow. Okay. So the other day when I did this, I didn't just go yes or no. I went to the choose another and expanded a bit on my answers. And I was the majority libertarian. This time, just going yes or no, keeping it very black or white, I am 93% Republican. That's the majority of my answers sided with Republicans, Conservative Party, Constitution Party, Libertarians. 61% sided with Democrats.
Yeah, I am 84% Republican on foreign policy, immigration, economic, and environmental issues. On social, domestic policy, immigration, and healthcare, I'm a libertarian. 83%. Conservative for foreign policy, immigration, and economic issues, 81%. Constitution Party, 80% on immigration, foreign policy. And on environment, social, and domestic policies, I'm a Democrat.
That's interesting.
71%.
You know what I would like? I'd like to see myself be more evenly split with both, because I think that would be a more fair and balanced approach. But I'm not going to change my stance. So there you have it.
Yeah, and I would like a steak and baked potato for dinner, and that's not going to happen either.
So for those of you that want to play that fun game, you can go to isidewith.com.
And if you are over 80% Republican, go ahead and friend Christina Wagner on Facebook, and I'm sure she will accept you.
But you know what's interesting? I really, truly, during the elections, I will talk a lot about politics in my social media, and I really don't get offended by other people's views. I find it really fascinating. I like to understand, why they feel the way they do. And I think that might come from the fact that in my political span, I started as I aligned myself with Democrats. I was a registered Democrat, and then became a registered Republican. I really feel like I'm much more libertarian. And when I took the time to not just go yes or no, but to go to those, more in-depth answers, the majority was libertarian. So it's interesting.
It is interesting.
So wait, did we just have a conversation about politics that you found interesting, or are you just being nice?
Oh, I was just being nice.
That's great.
Listen, it's not that I don't like politics. It's just that We have not yet had a president that has the balls, and even if it's a woman, I'll say, has the balls to finally get over the party thing and make it work for the United States. Period. I don't understand how these are supposedly, some of the best lawmakers and this and lawyers and generals and all these people that are apparently successful people, and they can't figure out how to make it work here. That blows my mind. And so much of it has to do with who contributed what to which party and what favors they have to do and blah, blah, blah. And you know what? I think it's bullshit. And we, the little common people, we're the ones that suffer for all of it. So it's time for America to say, you know what? We're not doing it anymore. So when that starts to happen, you'll see me get passionate about it. But until then, I think it is a waste of words. It is a waste of time because no one has gone in there that has the balls to say, enough with the parties. Let's do what's best.
Okay, but here's the problem.
So
the people that John Q. Public get to vote on are the people that the representatives for the Republican Party, the representatives for the Democrat Party, they're the ones that put forth, okay, this is the person that everybody gets to vote on for the Republican Party. This is the person. So until those people within, the precinct committeemen, until those people, realize that it's about people, not political parties, until they start putting people, until they start putting America first, we're not going to get there.
Not the large company that's doing this or whatever.
And the other thing is there's someone who would like to be that chosen person for the Republican Party, Dr. Ben Carson. Very smart. He would be an incredible president. And I know this having talked to him. Here's the problem. As much as we say we want somebody that's not the norm, that's not the mold, people vote for that idea of what the politician looks like.
Okay.
And that's what we've got to change.
But let me ask you this. As wonderful as you think Dr. Ben Carson is, and I'm not saying he's not, I have not spoke to him, and I think that he could be a wonderful person. However, there's something about when you get into that office and the control that everyone has around you, just because he's a wonderful person doesn't mean he's going to make the changes that need to be made to make America a better place.
That's true.
So,
and we don't know. Here's the other thing. We don't know what information, once they get into that office, that comes their way.
Which is sad, isn't it? Because I don't understand, why we don't have that ability. Have you ever watched House of Cards on Netflix?
I have not. Have you watched?
The new season came out, but I promised James we're going to watch it together. But oh my God.
What's interesting is the information that we are, as Americans, that we're not able to have, the information that is classified, that we are deemed that is for the sake of national security.
We can't know
the JFK files, all of that information that we can't handle that information. That I find it really interesting. I also think it's, I really hope that Hillary Clinton does not end up being the candidate that the Democrat Party puts forward as their candidate, because I'm terrified that people are going to vote for her just because she's a woman. Like that scares me. That
you don't want a repeat of our last 8 years.
I don't want. I
mean, call a spade a spade. Are you saying? I mean, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people are saying Obama wouldn't have won if it wasn't for the fact that people are like, oh, he'd be our first black president.
I think that's possible. I think that's possible that had something to do with why people. He also ran a brilliant social media campaign, and I think that.
And his social media campaign is still more important than his office.
It is.
I mean.
But here's the thing. I'd love to see a woman in the White House, but it needs to be the right woman. I don't want a woman just for the sake of let's have a woman in the White House. I want it to be for the right woman. I want the right person in the office that's going to help get our country back on track.
Is what's his name? He's a Mormon. Mitt Romney?
I don't think he's running again.
I really was kind of excited about him
I was too.
because I don't know. I think that you can say whatever you want about whatever religion, and I am not Mormon, and I really don't know a whole lot about it. But what I do know is when it comes to their community, they are strong, and they really, really support and take care of everyone in their congregation or their church home or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
If he had the ability to take that philosophy and make changes for the United States that had more of that philosophy, I think he could have been pretty amazing.
I had the opportunity to actually attend one of the debates in 2008. And it was at the Mesa Art Center. And what was really interesting to me is the spin that the media put on it. I'm sitting there in the office, and the person that I was actually interested, I liked Ron Paul, actually a lot. Ron Paul, of all of them, I liked Mitt Romney, but Ron Paul was the one that I was the most impressed with. And I was surprised that that the media's perception of him didn't match with what I saw in that audience. But anyway, that is our show. Have a great weekend. We will be back next weekend.
Anyone in Scottsdale today, there's a great charity event going on for the veterans of our community. The after ride part starts at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock at Scottsdale Harley.
That's correct.
Madison Rising is going to be playing, I think, at 5.
Yep.
So you know what? If you don't have any plans today, come out.
$20.
Support our
$20.
veterans. It's
Yep.
$20. It's a great band. You'll meet wonderful people. I have never once been to a veteran focused ride where I haven't thought everyone there was great.
Yep. And if you're not here local and you just want to support and find out more about that event, go to theyfought.weridenational.com to get all the details, because you can donate there. So we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. I'm Christina.
And I'm Michelle.